Hey, welcome back to Midas Letter RAW. And my partner in crime here, Ed Milewski, joins us once again as we do our best to refine the quality of this broadcast conversation to such a level that you, the audience, come back again and again and again and again and again. That's our objective. Right?
Great intro, James. Great intro.
Thank you. Thank you, Ed. Thank you.
So here we are a day later.
I know. So this is day 2 of the Midas Letter RAW, Ed Milewski, James West diatribe.
Yeah, love it.
And
love it.
I think in keeping with our recent theme, cannabis stocks are running. We look at the indexes here. We've got the Midas Letter Canadian Cannabis Index, all stocks over $500 million in the cannabis sector listed in Canada, of which there are currently 10. There's a steep little climb. Let's drop her back to the 5-day look.
Notably, TGOD, TGOD is well over was well over $8, and I think you could have bought it 10 days ago for $3.70.
Well, you could have.
But did you have the smarts to do that?
Did you have the cojones to step in front of that?
There you go.
Yeah, no, so, the Green Organic Dutchman is not yet a member of any of these indexes because these are rebalanced on the last day of every quarter.
And the only stock that's trading in that
Wait, but let me show you, Ed. But what you can do on MidasLetter.com now, and yes, this is shamelessly promotional, I realize, but we've rolled out some new tools of which I'm somewhat excited, Right. So we've got this little smart lookup thing here, and we can pull up TGOD, and here it goes, the Green Organic Dutchman. You click on that, and it pulls up because I right-clicked it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now what do we got here? Oops.
No.
We have the smart lookup.
Look at this.
The Green Organic Dutchman.
Wow, that's impressive. Look at this, up 43 cents, up 6%.
Yes.
10 million shares.
And the problem we have here is that the chart isn't showing. So that's the aspect of this little program that we're not exactly proud of at this point. However, it's a work in progress. Bugs are being worked out.
Yeah, but we'll be able to
but
put
the bottom
up
line is
a stock immediately and talk about it. I love it.
Green Organic Dutchman's up 5.6% today to $8.12 on 10 million shares of volume.
Right.
Now, this is a company that currently produces a very small, negligible amount of cannabis.
Right.
But they have created such a
raised
tight
a lot
share
of money.
Structure. They've raised a ton of dough.
And only the shares that were in the issue can trade now.
Only the shares that were in the IPO can trade.
Yeah, so that's nice for the investor.
Well, it gives the retail guy a shot to get in and get out, trade it.
Yeah, sort of a level playing field.
For now.
Yeah, and I think the insiders are escrowed for a number of years.
Yeah, the insiders are escrowed, and even the retail shareholders are all escrowed.
It's refreshing.
It is refreshing.
You know what?
Let's refresh it now.
Let's refresh it with a nice cold one.
That's it. We're done here. We're going to the bar.
We're going to the bar.
No, but look at this. So these guys also force converted their warrants based on volume and everything. So
already.
You have to exercise your
more
warrant
money
today.
in the till.
More money in the till, or you lose your warrant.
Whew.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
You're basically...
You have to sell your shares to pay for your warrant.
Well, no, but you can't. No matter what, as an investor, you are prevented from ruining your performance.
Did the IPO include a warrant?
The IPO, I don't believe did
just
include
a straight share.
Don't ask me.
But that
about
share was what, $4 or something like that?
$3.75, I thought. But
wow,
with
that's
the warrant at what was it, $5.50? Anyways, we shouldn't talk about it because we're not really up on that. Anyways, Green Organic Dutchman, very impressive. There was some of our viewers were asking about what's going to happen after the 6-month hold expires on all those things. And,
right.
I mean, if I was an investor and I had bought stock at $1.20, 70 cents, and it was at $16 by the time I'm trying to sell it, I would not be in a hurry to sell that stock. I'd be wanting to trickle it out as long as it was still rising. You wouldn't. Yeah. You'd be operating.
This thing is a straight up now from a low of just under 360. Back in second week of May, right up to 8:30 today or something like that. Yeah. This is a dangerous. I mean, I'm not trying to suggest that it can't go higher, but it would be difficult to buy it now if you didn't buy it at $4.
Well, I mean, if it's $8 today and it's
could have said
going to
that yesterday.
$60,
yeah. 60. 60.
I'm not saying it's going to 60. Did you say it's going to
No,
60?
no.
What?
Were they doing
$60?
an 8-for-1 rollback?
Can I get some more of that? No, but there's there's some winners and there's some losers.
We got someone on the phone here. It's
Probably
a banker.
We're taking calls now. We're taking callers. Actually, we're going to go to our Facebook page here. If anybody watching wants to ask us any questions, we are happy to, do our best to answer them. And if we can. If we can't, we'll just make fun of the caller or the question.
And notably, a lot of the
7 people watching on Facebook right now. Nobody's asking any questions. That's good. We're in the
because we're answering. There's nothing to ask because we're telling them everything
exactly.
they need to know.
We've got the answers. You don't need any questions.
Yeah.
But let's see what's going on. A
lot of the lesser known names are not participating in this rally. I know of a few companies.
The smaller caps?
Well, they're not small. Like for instance, Cannabis Wheaton. I looked at today. It's around $1.28. It's been much higher.
Cannabis Wheaton, yeah.
MYM, I can't remember the name, but that's a symbol that was much higher, maybe up to $5. It's currently around $1.50 something. So some of them are participating in this rally, but not all of them. It's not as broad-based as it was last January.
True that. Well, and do you think that has anything to do with the increase in supply of issuers in which you can participate?
But somehow the money seems to be finding the ones. In other words, there seems to be able to vet the universe of these companies and pick the ones that they think are the right ones. In other words,
or is it just a case of the squeaky wheels are getting the grease? The ones making the big noise, the ones who are, have a healthy marketing budget and are.
Well, but I've always been led to believe CBW has got a healthy marketing budget, and it's not participating in this rally.
Huh.
Although they just tried to do a bought deal, or they're doing a bought deal of $100 million. We mentioned that yesterday. Hey, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Waiting in Weed. This is a gentleman. I'm assuming he's a gentleman. I don't know for sure. Waiting in Weed could be a female for all we know. But anyways, Waiting in Weed says is asking if we have any insight as to when Ontario will announce its LP arrangements, I guess in reference to the Ontario Cannabis Board and the recreational rules.
Right.
Do you have an idea on that, Ed?
No, and with an imminent change in government, I mean, is that
exactly?
Does that
doesn't
play
even
into
matter. You can say whatever you want.
In 3 days
if I was
from now,
Kathleen Wynne, I'd be saying, you know what? Anybody who wants to open a dispensary in this province,
go for it.
It's free to do so. You just have to vote for me.
Right. There you go.
I think that's a good election strategy. What about so that's a good point. Waiting in Weed, I think we can't really say because the government is is in flux, as they say, about to change potentially. Although you see the scandal around poor Doug Ford and his. Yeah. We won't go there. We're not going to stoop to the level of dealing in gossip.
Apolitical.
Yeah.
Well, are we apolitical or are we? I guess we.
Oh no, I'm not apolitical. I hate everybody equally.
Yeah.
So I think I'm.
Yeah. Somebody said the other day, politics is comprised of 2 words: poly being many.
Yeah.
Ticks being suckers. Many suckers.
What is that? Okay, I'm not political.
Just saying.
All right, let's go back and look at our
ticks.
Let's go back and look at
ticks cause Lyme disease. So,
well, we don't know that for sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're pretty sure that
I think they're just blaming the deer for carrying the ticks and blaming the ticks for causing the Lyme disease.
Right.
These people are having unprotected sex. How do you know it's not that?
I know.
But anyways, I had a post here that had the T-God chart in it. Actually, I'm going to wow the audience, Ed, and I'm going to create a post right now called T-God chart. And this is how cool our site has become, thanks to the lovely, who I know they're watching and listening, and talented Christopher Jorgensen and Crystal Thompson at Ecstatic Designs, who make everything on our site work beautifully.
Wow.
So we just go like this: stock chart, short code, symbol equals TGOD : TSX, and then we're going to go type. Oh no, sorry, it's not type, it's chart. equals candlestick. Ta-da, close. Oh, watch this, Ed. I'm going to hit Save Draft, and I'm going to hit Preview. You're looking at your stocks there.
I'm just watching some of these pot stocks. I've got a list here, and I'm kind of astounded by the.
Okay, look at this.
You know what? I'm trying to.
Look at this. Oh, you know what? See, there's the T-God chart now. I don't know why it works in our chart, but not in our smart lookup. I guess it's a smart lookup problem. But let's talk about this chart technically, Ed. What do you think? Let's go to full screen. Oh, full screen's not working.
This is T-God.
Yeah, this is T-God. So there's there's the rock and roll starting.
Yeah.
And doesn't look really like there's any sign, like it, from a technical aspect, that's a pretty strong indicator.
You know what? This is something that there isn't enough time here to really. This thing is on a breakaway run. It's straight up. I think it'd be very, very silly to try and short it, and you'd have to be very ballsy to buy it. It's a runaway train, and everybody's clamoring on. But at some point, when the market cap gets out of this world, it probably
can become
20%.
20%.
Well, a 10 or 15% correction. And if you look back at some of the moves we've seen in other cannabis issuers, you can see that once they peak, for instance, if you go to weed back in January, and when it peaked, then it probably corrected 20%.
Yeah, but that was that market had really gotten up ahead of steam. They announced the deal with Constellation. 10% Constellation buys 10% of Tweed.
So
then they do the bot deal. Remember, they did the bot deal led by BMO.
Right.
And that was the largest at that time financing in the cannabis space.
So here's a question for you. Let's say that the issuers or the management of this company thought that this was going to be $8 really quickly. Would they have still done the issue at $3.50?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't.
Of course, nobody really knows.
Well, and you wouldn't want to try to speak for the guys, but obviously they sort of built the value ladder in this thing through a very conscious sort of approach.
I hear there's some pretty smart people involved in this company.
Yeah. So the people, Rob Anderson's been in this game for a long time.
Rob Anderson, I don't know the gentleman, but his name comes up as a smart guy.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And look, he's put his name on this as a CEO and chairman.
Yeah, that's true.
That's being overt, I would suggest.
Okay, we have a gentleman, Nick Thomas, says he wants to talk about Namaste. Ed, do you know anything about Namaste?
Well, I know the ticker is N.
It's an easy one to remember.
Well, let's look at the chart.
Okay, I'm going to pull up a chart. I'm going to have to do this so I'm going to change this to...
And I'll take a look here on my phone just to get a little heads up here.
Okay, so it's
167 to 68, up 6 cents.
TSV. Let's see what we got. Save draft. Oh, now we're going chart, preview.
Yeah, my phone seems to have, there we go.
Okay, here's Namaste.
Is that
1 year look.
1 year look, okay, I got that look on my phone. I'm just going to look here. Yeah. Well, look, here's one that really hasn't participated to the
rally.
Look at the move here. Sorry for my pointing here, but look at the, and it's trying, but I don't see...
Namaste was the most shorted cannabis issuer as of a week ago. Had 26 million shares to the short side. They have a financing coming free trading, and I believe the financing was done at... Actually, I wouldn't want to try to guess, but I think it was done at about $1.40 or something.
Right.
So the reality is that
Yeah, we seem to have some...
Looks like there's a party going on in the studio next door.
If you check this place for mice, I think there's some mice in here. Anyway.
I think the neighbors are getting restless. Yeah. But so anyways, so Namaste is at $1.68, sort of trading on the anticipation of that financing becoming free trading.
Always something to pay attention to, because obviously with more supply coming on stream, it's going to be harder to move.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about the guts of this thing, but I think they do a lot of online selling of product, right?
Well, so Namaste actually got into business selling vapes.
Really?
Yeah, they were essentially at one time the largest online vendor of vapes in America. Again, I'm not entirely sure that that's exactly accurate, but they used that market-leading position to raise a lot of capital, and now they're an LP.
Yeah.
And they're expanding into the States. They've got deals with.
What's the market? What's the market cap here? I guess I can find it out quickly, but
well, it's $1.67. It's up 3.73 cents or 3.73% today.
And there's how many shares? It's probably difficult to figure out how many shares because it keeps changing, right?
Yeah. Well, if we looked at again, we'll look at our.
I'll see what this says.
It's going to be on the CSE index because they just recently left there, and so that hasn't been updated as a result of the updates yet. But so there's Namaste, market cap 459 million today.
Right, right.
So
and they'd have a good chunk of cash on the books, but you would say they're doing another financing now or not?
Not now, no. But let's see. The last time they raised money, I believe, was back in February. Let's see if we go forward one here.
Yeah, I see a lot of news items.
Bought deal, 35 million bucks. There it is. So this is why, February, March, April, May, June, the 4-month hold is coming to an end. So the market is anticipating all of this stock, or a big chunk of it, to come into the market. That's 13 million units. They did the financing at bought deal basis at a price per unit of $255.
Underwater.
It's underwater.
For our listeners, if you're going to buy one of these issuers, you might want to look at if there is any free trade, any stock coming free trading, because that might affect your decision to purchase.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other can of worms. But anyway, so yeah, Namaste is making some big moves. I would put money on Namaste to be a contender because they're diversifying geographically, diversifying through the industry, but most importantly, they've got a customer base. And in the upcoming consumer-driven recreational market,
what would be the revenue
having
for the
a customer
Can we
base
see
is
the
very
revenue
important.
for the last reported in the last quarter?
So
they're selling all over the world, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, online is everywhere.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So they received their ACMPR medical cannabis production license back in March. Let's see so in March 27th, February 2018 sales of 1.37, at that time representing 146% year-over-year increase.
So 1.7 million revenue?
Yeah, 1.37.
Compared to a market cap of 400 million.
Well, that's back in February.
Yeah, so sure.
So
there you
this
go.
is the thing. And also, it's like this market is moving so fast.
Yeah, but look at, here's a company that was much higher.
Yeah.
And it's not participating in this index, and it's close to your entry level of half a billion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe if it was included, it would.
Well, it was briefly in the small cap index.
Right.
Nick Thomas says they've got 50 million in the bank. They're not in the USA. They disposed of their assets. Wait a sec. We just saw a financing.
Oh, there.
I just saw a press release that said they were in the US of A, that they just done a deal with somebody here. Where is it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, now they seem to recall, they did something where they wanted to divest themselves of their U.S. interests.
So they got a Colombian deal. They've got an Australian deal. They're partnered with Afria. They've got a deal with a Jamaican company. It was on the first page that I saw that one. Okay, there it is. Namaste enters into distribution agreement with Lowell Herb Company, California's fastest growing cannabis brand. So they are, in fact, making moves into the United States. Thank you, Nick, anyways. You're allowed to ask questions. You're not allowed to tell us what's going on.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. Let's see. What do we got on Facebook? Ian Hedry, 20 countries. Okay, so Ian seems to know a bit about
There you
them.
go.
I wonder, do you think those guys are shareholders in Namaste?
I got a feeling.
Okay, Suzanne says we got to get back over to YouTube because there's a great conversation happening.
Okay.
So let's see what's going on over at YouTube. Come back. Oh, wow. Germany will be huge. Sebastian B says, I don't know. Sorry, need to do some DD. Oh, clearly I'm jumping into the middle of the conversation. Okay, so, well, they're having a conversation about what's going on in Germany without us, Ed. So
can you imagine?
Maybe we should be watching their show.
I got two things to say. Jawohl and nein.
What? What about Gesundheit? Ja.
What's the word? What's the word for the sign of the times? There's a word that's in German that means the something.
Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist. There you go.
What is the zeitgeist in Germany? What is the zeitgeist?
What is the zeitgeist?
What is zeitgeist?
The sign of the times.
Apparently. All right. We don't know about what's going on in Germany because we are not in Germany and we're not busy.
Yeah. You know
okay,
what?
so let's go back to our index. See what's happening in these companies. What's driving each of these markets?
We looked at organogram yesterday. Let's put up the chart of organogram.
You know, that's a good idea.
I want to.
Let's see what it's doing today. Is that the question? Is that continuing? Let's see here.
OGI. If
well, I have to go back to my. Actually, I have to put it in here because the charts are not working. OGI. Save draft and preview. We're doing this a manual way right now.
Sure.
Preview, and here comes the OGI chart. It says T-God chart, but it's not. It's organogram.
There you go. Okay, so.
Well, look at that. Let's go into intraday look.
Intraday.
Whoa. So it opened up at what? 547. Now trading at 575.
Right. Now look at this candle over here back at just after 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it sold off, so it looked like there's some heavy resistance up there, and it stayed sideways, and it sort of gradually reached up there, got to 588. Currently, what are we showing now? Last at
574. It's up almost 5% on the day, up 25 cents.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm live here on my phone. It's 572. Okay.
Oh, okay, you're 20 minutes ahead.
Okay, so the previous high was 568 back in December.
Yeah.
So technically, if it closes at 568 or lower, maybe a bit of a warning sign. You'd want to see it to get into that blue sky, get into the new high area, and keep moving. And if it was there during the day and then by the end of the day sells off and closes below that high back in January, I would say, maybe just be careful here.
Yeah.
This vote thing's going to be interesting. Now, is it possible this vote's going to be no? It's impossible, right?
Well, nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. What are the odds of that happening?
There's nothing to indicate. There's nobody out there saying, we got a serious problem here. They're going to vote no. The expectation is that all the progressive conservative elements in the Senate will vote no.
Right.
But the Senate is firmly in the control of the Liberals, notwithstanding the fact that the Senate is now supposedly nonpartisan.
Right.
But,
right.
just an example of how dysfunctional politics is by nature. As soon as you try to adjust it, it becomes even more dysfunctional.
Yeah. So this thing back in early May was close to 4, and now it's close to 6.
Yeah. So on the technical side, what are you seeing? Is this indicate a continuation? This is the 1 month look. You've got a tall candle here and a little bit of a.
I really think if it can close above the highs of January, that's an indication that it looks like it wants to go higher. But if it can't, knowing that we're going to get the approval here tomorrow, it's going to be interesting. Is there going to be what we talked about yesterday? Buy on mystery, sell on news.
Buy the history, sell the buy the mystery.
Buy the mystery, sell the history. Right.
All right. Well, I want to look at so these plays we've been looking at are predominantly Canadian. I want to look at one of my, I must say I have a position in this company, but I want to see what's going on with the companies that are outside of North America. So Chiron.
Chiron is Colombian-based. Yeah,
Went
I know a few of the people there.
Yeah, they went public, what, a week
Recently.
ago? Yeah. So let's pull up their chart and see if they're participating in the stampede, as it were. Do-do-do-do. Oh, invalid symbol. Oh, man. Okay. Well,
take a look here. I think it's right now about $1.12.
Okay, well,
114 to 116, last at 116, up 6 cents.
All right, so
only 250,000 shares traded, which is not a lot of volume.
Okay, let's look at some of the most hated stocks now. What do you think about that, Ed?
Okay.
Always up for a...
Always up to, look at the empty side of the glass.
Yeah. What are some of the names that you've been hearing that you would consider some of the most hated stocks in
this space?
Yeah.
Chiron's on the venture.
Yes, we know that.
Okay,
That's what we were trying to put in the symbol, but the chart system is not working that great.
CSV.
Oh yeah, you put up the CSE.
Oh, that's right.
There you go. There you go. Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. Pilot error.
Yeah, I don't know if they're hated or if people think, Cannabis Wheaton, it's been raising money. It's just raised money, and it doesn't seem to be participating in this move.
Yeah. Well, they just got a $100 million bot deal led by BMO. Enough to pave over a whole raft of sins, if ever a move I saw.
Yeah. Wow. Probably lots of fees there.
Did you look at the MedMen deal?
I saw something the other day about that comment there and said that it looked a little shaky.
Yeah. So Chiron is up there too.
Oh yeah. I don't have to lean over there. Hey, thanks for pointing that out.
No problem, Ed.
I like that. Yeah. Wow. So I can look here or there.
Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah. Generally, the audience is looking there, so we should probably refer to that as well.
Good point.
So I want to look at the MedMen thing because that is the most reviled stock that I know of right now.
And do you have a relationship with management of the company?
I do not. I have a relationship with Vihan Ajarian, who is the managing director of analyst relations. I probably don't have that much of a relationship with him anymore because I wrote some comments pointing out the fact that in the share structure of MedMen, the two founders had 4.1 billion votes to the equity investors 360 some odd million votes.
So there's never going to be a vote in that company.
Yeah, if it was a government deal, they call that a public-private partnership, which in the same context as the government means the private gets screwed while the government gets a free ride.
Right.
So if these guys decide to build a rocket ship and open a dispensary on the moon, there's nothing that the shareholders can do to
And what
stop
exchange does that one trade on?
It's on the CSE.
So the CSE allows those shares that have multiple votes.
Well, it's those are legal structures. The bottom line is that's actually MedMen's quite recovered today. Quite recovered. So they came out at 565, 563 on their first day of trading. They closed at 499. They had these 3 steps down. Had a bit of an up day there, a couple more days down.
So this is a new one?
Yeah, this is a new one.
Okay.
This is MedMen.
Wow.
So they've got, they came public with a valuation of $2.2 billion.
Did you say 2.2 million?
Billion.
With a
billion.
B? You said billion with a
billion.
B?
Yeah.
Billion.
Yeah, you're not a real cannabis company unless you start at $1 billion these days.
Wow. Wow. And does this company, let me ask a stupid question.
What do their sales look like?
Do they have any revenue?
They've got a lot of revenue. So they're the guys who have the Apple Store look-alike marijuana dispensaries in Nevada and New York and California.
And they're not selling apples.
And they're not selling apples, no. So, it's...
well, they're the $2 billion market cap.
Yeah, $2 billion.
And so it's still around $2 billion.
One of our Tristan Johnson, one of our viewers, says he hates Wheaton And Mad Men equals utter nonsense.
Yeah, well, when you look at some,
Tell us what you really think, Tristan.
don't hold back here.
That's right.
This is raw.
No conservative. That's why we call it raw. This is unfiltered. Marafarm, Golden Leaf Holdings, according to, I don't even know how to say that. I bet you this guy's from Germany. It says Gerhenkrumpf, 666. Golden Leaf Holdings is hated.
666. That's an interesting number.
Yep. Well, that's
Just say
no,
it.
that's not an accident, is it?
Just pick that out of the.
Let's see what's going on in the the YouTube
And
conversation.
in Germany, if you
is,
turn it upside down, it'd be 999.
which would be like, no, 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 ain't gonna go to rehab.
Oh
boy, we can't
Boy.
we can't have that much fun, Ed.
no, it's
Okay,
just
so
you know.
MedMen has been one of the most hated stocks, but
And now
clearly our audience agrees. Let's go back to the chart.
So
it's only been trading. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
and
7th
the
trading
high
session.
trade was 575. It came out at that price.
Opened at 560. 560.
Now I wonder, would the insiders
touched a high of 575.
Insiders have any restrictions on their stock on this one?
Well, I would think so. I mean, I haven't
for sure,
actually,
sure.
I haven't actually read that much in the.
And how much did
investments.
they raise on that initial IPO? Do you recall?
It was 110 million. 110 million.
110.
Yep, they were borrowing money at 15% though, in some crazy convertible debentures in May, at increasing frequency, which suggested that they needed to go public just to keep the lights on, and I think that's what the market is seeing.
But that's a lot. 110 million still can buy a nice house and a couple of good cars.
Yeah, that's a nice night on the town.
That's nice.
Okay, so here's another.
Okay,
They're going to
okay.
hate me, but here's another hated stock, and it's because it's not hated for any other reason that they came out with the most baffed out structure you've ever seen in your life. And this company is FSD Pharma. The symbol is HUGE, and you'll see why this one's kind of hated. It kind of speaks for itself. They got 1.3 billion subordinate B shares out to the 15,000 controlling A shares. Each of the 15,000 controlling A shares is 276,000 votes. So they've got
They got the votes.
4.1 billion. Yeah, they've got 4.1 billion votes to the 1.3 billion in the B class.
I think they raised about $50 million, which is still a lot of money.
Yeah, no, they raised. I think it was 46 million.
At
bucks.
what price did they raise the money at?
9 cents was the last raise, as far as I know.
Well, you know what? To their credit, they got a little premium there.
Yeah, somebody got a lift. Somebody got a little bump. Don't know if the 9 cent guys can sell yet.
Yeah.
But
Right.
they've got the it's a 3.8 million square foot Dold craft factory up on Highway 401 in Coburg, which you're going to need a lot more than 46 million bucks to turn that into a fully purpose-built growing operation. But so there are some other big stocks that are going to start trading here soon, and we can't pull up charts of those.
And I think, is it safe to say that every time one of these companies goes public, it dilutes the pool? I mean, in some way or other, there's a lot of overlap in these companies.
Well,
Like in terms of
there's
capacity.
a finite amount of capital in the world for cannabis.
Right.
So every time a new issuer comes up, they tap that available pool, and arguably, yes, it is somewhat diluted.
Less money for mining stocks, which
Well,
I happen to be.
money for mining Who's putting money into mining stocks these days?
Only
Ed?
me.
Yeah, that's all right. Eh?
And guess what?
Yeah.
Can I borrow some money off you for dinner today?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Eh? So this is how. Was it?
Yeah, and I'm
This is
prepared
how-
to eat vegetables. Okay, just so you know, turnips are fine.
All right. Well, there's what we're going to.
I won't fall
categorize.
off the turnip truck because I'm too busy eating turnips. Just saying. Just saying.
All right. Any
Okay.
other hated stocks that you'd like to talk about on this particular segment, Ed?
Yeah. Well, no.
Let's see. I'm going to go back to the YouTube channel. I want to see what the audience has in the way of hated stocks. Don't ignore mining stocks, says Joe.
You know,
Ed, let's ignore mining stocks just to piss Joe off.
I like mining. Well, copper. Dr. Copper is rearing its ugly head.
Watch the viewers disappear now. You said copper.
Okay.
We got to see. There they go. Down. Lost one right there. We were up to 18 viewers, Ed. Don't
there you go.
Say copper again.
Okay. I meant
Watch this.
Didn't they used to call pennies coppers?
Watch this. Cannabis stock.
Cannabis.
Cannabis. Cannabis is going legal in Canada, arguably tomorrow.
Okay.
Is our watch? Let's see if our number of viewers. Oh, it bounced there for a second. No, no dice. We've been on for 35 minutes, Ed. Do you think that enough is enough?
35.
35 minutes.
Seems like about 3.
Oh, Nick Thomas says Nick Thomas, CBW is a partner with her. Huge. Well, birds of a feather.
Flock together.
Well, we're going to get ourselves in trouble
No,
here.
you know what? We like all stocks.
Wait a sec.
As long as we're on the right side.
Jeff Shee says, can you comment on Cannabis Wheaton's name change to Oxley? Is that something you've heard about?
This is the first I've heard it. That's why I like
the
coming
audience
here.
might once in a while try to take the piss out of us here. Ed. We got to be on our guard here. You know what we need is we need a gatekeeper.
Is that tantamount to like taking the wind out of my sails? Is that
somewhat different connotation? That's what I think you're mixing metaphors there.
Yeah, well.
Look, see, we start talking cannabis, the audience numbers start to rise again.
Where are we now?
21. 21 on YouTube,
well,
and let's see on Facebook. 20.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know,
total of 45.
You know how many? And I've been in this investment game 40 years approximately. You know, the move in anticipation, and then the reality sets in, and it's never as good as what you expect. It's like going to a wild party. It's never as good as you think it's going to be. Well, sometimes it is, I guess.
Sometimes it's better than you hope for.
Well, usually when you expect it to be bad, that's when it's good. But when you expect it to be good, it's usually bad. Something like that. I don't know. That's how
Sounds like exactly what happens when you buy the wrong stock. You expect it to be good, but it's bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, does it ever happen where you buy a bad stock and it turns out to be good?
There's a fellow that's I used to work with years ago, was a pretty famous technical analyst.
Okay.
And his name was Leon Toohey. And I used to be Pitfield Mackay Ross back in the late 70s.
Boy, that's
Leon Toohey is a brilliant guy, and he's still alive. And I think he's a brilliant guy, and he had a great sense of humor. But he said, you know, only buy those stocks that go up. If they don't go up, don't buy them. There you go.
And let's see. Don't tell me he's retired as an absolute titan of industry.
Tongue in cheek. That was supposedly to be a little.
Right. You know, that's like Yogi Berra's stuff.
You know what? I'm trying to shut the sound off.
Yogi Berra says, what is it? He says,
dismiss.
Don't predict or it's okay to predict the future. Just don't say when.
Now another one is 50% of the time it's 80-20 or something like that. I don't know.
Anyways,
well, look, I just see weed in the last couple minutes. Weed being the big boy.
Yeah,
was about 40.9 is now 40.45. So it's given up 45 cents here.
That's nothing.
But you know this is the leader. This is the big boy.
Yeah.
The big boy should be just plowing through.
Well, no, but I mean this is the first, you know, New York Stock Exchange listed stock.
Interestingly enough, Organigram, which hit 593, which is a new high, is now below that high of last January. So it tried to get into that new high territory. This is important, listeners, so I'd really pay attention.
Finally, half an hour listening to this, and finally something's important.
It's now below that high of last January, so it's now 558. So it seems, if it can't get through that number, technical people would say caution, caution.
Caution. You know what? I've always viewed technical analysis as a good thing to use for what it's good for. Do you know what technical?
I'm afraid what you're going to say.
Technical analysis is a very precise way to predict what happened.
Yeah. Well, yes, but it also could be a tool to help you.
How often would you say technical analysis is right?
Okay, let's just say, here, I've just thrown out something here. Readers?
There's no readers here.
Okay.
No. There's some writers, but no readers.
Okay, so let's say listeners, watchers.
Viewers.
There you go.
YouTubers. Facebookers.
If in fact we can't get a close above 568 on the OGI, then I think, you know, the idea of the buy on mystery, sell on history might prevail here.
What about sell in May and go away? now that it's June. I don't see that.
Yeah,
happening
well,
in the
you know
cannabis
what?
space.
I'll tell you, if you're in the mining sector, in mining stocks, it's been brutal. Nobody cares.
They've taken out the temporal reference. They just say sell and go away.
Yeah, it's just sell, go away. Don't
come back another day.
Don't come back.
Well, I mean, you know, at some point.
How about yakety yak? Don't come back.
Okay, let me ask you this, Ed Milewski.
Okay.
When do you
James West.
think that the cannabis market is going to reverse course and start to, let's just say, lose money?
I think starting maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Nobody wants to hear that.
No, I don't want to say. I don't know, but look at the setup here. You're seeing stocks sell off as we go into the close.
And do you know how many companies are about to start trading this week, next week? There's like 5 that I know of.
Really?
So you don't want to be saying that the market's going south.
Look at T-God. T-God was up to, look at this. T-God was up to 828. It was up to 828. Look at this. 783.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the T-God chart so the audience can see what the hell it is you're referring to here.
T-God. What if they came up with the symbol first?
All right. Well,
what kind of name can we put around this company?
this day, if we were to look at the there's our chart that won't go big again. Oh man, this is just brutal.
I know.
Let's just close that. We'll go to the chart. So, the cannabis stocks in general. Uh-oh, now it's screwed up. That's weird. Audience, thank you for your time. We have now reached the limit of our technical ability here.
Phil,
now look, we're on the front page of Midas Letter, repeating ourselves.
Film at 11.
We'll come back tomorrow. Are you coming back tomorrow, Ed?
I may come back tomorrow.
All right.
We should come. Tomorrow's
every day, 3 o'clock. We're going to dissect the cannabis industry.
Well,
for our viewers.
since I've moved in down the hall, it'll be easy.
How's your sleeping bag, by the way?
May come back tomorrow. She's okay.
Listen, we're repeating ourselves. This is great. We can watch ourselves.
Is there an echo in here?
If you wanted to do something,
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap.
All right. She's okay.